Have you ever felt like the world is pulling you in 100 different directions? Do you find yourself constantly comparing your life to others, feeling pressured by society's expectations? What if the real power lies not in seeking approval or external success, but in mastering yourself? Before we dive into today's powerful lessons from Stoicism, take a moment to support this channel. If you find value in this content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps in spreading wisdom that can transform lives. Now, let's begin. The power of self-focus. The more you focus on yourself, the more powerful you become. This is not about selfishness, but about self-mastery. Ancient Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca taught that true strength lies within. Let's explore 7 essential principles that will elevate your personal power. 1. Control your reactions. Control your life. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. This fundamental truth is at the heart of Stoic wisdom. Life is unpredictable. Challenges, failures, and setbacks will come often when you least expect them. People will disappoint you, circumstances will shift, and things will go wrong. But what truly matters is not the events themselves, but your reaction to them. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." If you can master your reactions, you gain control over your emotions, your actions, and ultimately, your life. The external world will always be chaotic, but your inner world does not have to be. The key to maintaining peace lies in your ability to detach from external events and govern your mind with reason. Emotions versus rational control. When faced with adversity, most people react impulsively. They lash out in anger, break down in frustration, or let fear dictate their choices. But emotions, if left unchecked, can cloud judgment and lead to poor decisions. Stoicism teaches that instead of being ruled by emotions, we should acknowledge them without letting them take control. Imagine you are driving, and another driver suddenly cuts you off. Your immediate reaction might be to honk aggressively, curse, or even chase after them. But pause for a moment. What does this reaction achieve? Will it change what happened? Will it make you feel better in the long run? Or does it simply fuel unnecessary anger that ruins your entire day? Instead, apply Stoic reasoning. Is this situation worth my peace of mind? Can I control the actions of others? What is the most rational response? The answer becomes clear. Instead of engaging in an emotional outburst, you can take a deep breath, let it go, and move forward with your day unbothered. This small act of self-control is a victory over impulsiveness. It proves that you are in charge of yourself. Detachment, the key to inner peace. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, emphasized that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you'll find strength. If you allow external circumstances to dictate your emotions, you give away your power. However, by practicing detachment, you reclaim control. Example, imagine someone insults you in public. Your natural instinct might be to defend yourself, argue back, or feel hurt. But does their opinion truly define you? No. Their words are merely sounds carried by the air, nothing more. Instead of reacting emotionally, pause and ask yourself, does this deserve my energy? Will this matter a week, a month, or a year from now? What benefit do I gain from responding? Most of the time, the answer is no. By choosing not to engage, you maintain your dignity and peace. The ability to walk away from unnecessary conflicts is a sign of strength, not weakness. The power of choice. Every day, life presents you with countless choices. You can choose to let the small inconveniences disturb your peace, or you can choose to remain calm and composed. You can choose to let negative people drag you into their chaos, or you can choose to rise above it. The more you practice self-control, the more powerful you become. True freedom comes from mastering yourself, not controlling the world. When you control your reactions, you control your life. 2. Compete only with yourself. In a world where social media constantly showcases the highlight reels of others, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparison. You see someone achieving what you desire, and suddenly self-doubt creeps in. You start questioning your own progress, wondering if you're falling behind. But the truth is, The only competition that truly matters is the one with yourself. The person you were yesterday is the only benchmark worth measuring against. When Arnold Schwarzenegger started his journey in bodybuilding, he wasn't concerned with immediately surpassing the reigning champions. Instead, he focused on one thing: being better than he was the day before. He understood that improvement is a daily effort, a process of steady progression. Each training session was an opportunity to push his limits a little further, to lift heavier weights, to perfect his form, and to refine his discipline. By committing to this mindset of self-competition, he transformed himself from a young, ambitious bodybuilder into a legend. This principle doesn't just apply to bodybuilding or physical fitness. It extends to every aspect of life: career, relationships, personal development, and even mental resilience. Too often, people waste energy obsessing over others' achievements instead of focusing on their own growth. They scroll through social media, comparing their reality to someone else's carefully curated illusion. This leads to frustration, insecurity, and a sense of inadequacy. But what if, instead of looking outward for validation, you looked inward for progress? Imagine a runner training for a marathon. If they constantly compare themselves to elite athletes, they might feel discouraged and give up. But if they focus on running just a little farther or a little faster than they did yesterday, they will see steady improvement. Over time, those small victories accumulate into massive success. That's the power of competing with yourself. The same applies to any skill or goal. If you're learning a new language, don't stress about speaking fluently like a native right away. Focus on learning one new word a day. If you're starting a business, don't compare your first year to someone else's 10th year. Measure your progress against your own past efforts. The key is to acknowledge and celebrate personal milestones, no matter how small. Action step: set personal milestones. Instead of chasing external validation, create a system of self-improvement based on personal milestones. Identify areas where you want to grow and break them down into daily, weekly, or monthly goals. Track your progress, celebrate your wins, and use setbacks as learning experiences rather than reasons to quit. For example, if you want to become a better speaker, record yourself each week and analyze your progress instead of comparing yourself to seasoned professionals. If you want to improve your physical health, track your personal records rather than envying someone else's physique. Growth is your only true competition, and every step forward is a victory. The moment you stop measuring yourself against others and start focusing on your own journey, you reclaim your power. You become the master of your own progress. And in the end, that's the only race worth running. 3. Think independently and be resilient. The world is full of opinions, and if you allow them to dictate your path, you may never reach your true potential. Independent thinking is one of the most powerful tools you can develop in your journey toward success. It means trusting your instincts, making decisions based on your own values and insights, and not being swayed by the noise of external judgment. Think about the people who have achieved greatness. Many of them faced rejection, criticism, and even ridicule before they finally succeeded. One of the most famous examples is Colonel Sanders, the man behind Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC. Before his secret recipe became a global sensation, he was turned down more than 1,000 times. Yet, he refused to give up. He had a vision and a belief in his product, even when others couldn't see its potential. His unwavering determination eventually led him to create one of the most successful fast food franchises in history. Resilience is the key to turning failure into success. It's easy to feel discouraged when faced with rejection, but resilience means pushing forward despite setbacks. It means understanding that every no is just a step closer to a yes. When Colonel Sanders was met with rejection after rejection, he didn't view them as signs to stop. He saw them as obstacles to overcome. His persistence and resilience turned what seemed like failure into a powerful success story. The same principle applies to any goal you are working toward. Whether you're starting a business, writing a book, learning a new skill, or working on self-improvement, there will always be people who doubt you. Some may criticize your ideas, while others may simply not understand your vision. But your success is not determined by public approval. It's determined by your persistence, hard work, and belief in yourself. Independent thinking also means being able to filter the feedback you receive. Not all criticism is bad. Sometimes constructive feedback can help you refine your approach. However, you must learn to distinguish between helpful advice and mere negativity. Some people may project their own fears and limitations onto you, discouraging you from pursuing your dreams. That's why it's essential to stay true to yourself and trust your judgment. Another great example of resilience and independent thinking is Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb. He failed thousands of times before he finally succeeded. When asked about his failures, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His mindset was not focused on failure, but on learning and persistence. This kind of thinking is what separates those who succeed from those who give up too soon. To cultivate resilience, you must develop a mindset that sees setbacks as temporary and surmountable. One way to do this is by embracing a Stoic approach to challenges. The Stoics believed that obstacles were not barriers but opportunities for growth. Instead of complaining about difficulties, they focus on what could be controlled: their own effort, attitude, and perseverance. This philosophy can be a powerful guide when facing adversity. Another way to strengthen resilience is by maintaining a long-term vision. Success is rarely immediate, and the road is often filled with obstacles. However, if you keep your eyes on your ultimate goal, temporary failures will not shake you. They will simply become lessons that make you stronger. Your success depends on your persistence, not public approval. Stay committed to your vision. Think independently and develop resilience. Learn from rejection. Refine your approach and keep moving forward. Those who achieve greatness are not the ones who never face setbacks, but the ones who refuse to be defeated by them. 4. Channel your energy into productive actions. Energy is a limited resource. Every moment you spend overthinking, worrying about the past, or distracting yourself with meaningless activities is energy that could have been invested in something valuable. The Stoics understood this deeply. They believed that while we cannot control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. And the best response is always to take meaningful action. Worrying about the future or dwelling on past mistakes does nothing to improve your situation. It only drains you, leaving you exhausted and frustrated. Instead of wasting mental and emotional energy on things beyond your control, shift your focus to what you can influence. By doing so, you reclaim your power, the power of action over worry. The Greek philosopher Epictetus warned against the dangers of excessive worry. He believed that people suffer more from their imagination than from reality itself. Instead of being trapped in fear and uncertainty, he encouraged people to engage in meaningful pursuits, whether that meant studying philosophy, forming deep friendships, or finding joy in simple pleasures. His teachings remind us that anxiety fades when we immerse ourselves in things that matter. Modern psychology supports this idea. Studies have shown that people who engage in productive activities, such as exercise, creative work, or personal development, experience lower levels of stress and greater overall satisfaction. When your mind is occupied with meaningful work, there's little room left for destructive thoughts. A living example, Nick Vujicic's story. Consider the incredible story of Nick Vujicic. Born without arms or legs, he could have easily fallen into despair. He could have focused on his limitations, drowning in self-pity and regret. But instead, he chose a different path. He transformed his challenges into a source of strength, becoming one of the world's most sought-after motivational speakers. Through his books, speeches, and personal interactions, he has inspired millions to embrace life fully, regardless of their circumstances. Nick's story is a powerful reminder that energy channeled into self-improvement and positive action can create extraordinary results. He could have let negativity consume him, but he understood an important truth: what you focus on grows. How to apply this principle in your life. If you find yourself overthinking, ask yourself, is this thought serving me? If not, redirect your attention to something productive. Here are some ways to do that. Set clear goals. Define what truly matters to you. Whether it's improving your health, developing a skill, or building stronger relationships, having a clear goal gives your energy a direction. Take small steps. You don't need to change everything overnight. Start with small, consistent actions. Progress, no matter how small, builds momentum and keeps you moving forward. Engage in physical activity. Exercise is a powerful way to shift your focus from worries to action. It clears the mind, boosts mood, and strengthens resilience. Create rather than consume. Instead of passively scrolling through social media or binge-watching shows, use your time to create something, write, paint, build, or learn. Creative expression is one of the best ways to transform energy into something meaningful. Practice mindfulness. When negative thoughts arise, observe them without judgment and gently bring your focus back to the present. Simple breathing exercises or meditation can help you stay grounded. Surround yourself with doers. Energy is contagious. If you spend time around people who take action, you'll naturally start adopting the same mindset. Energy is precious. You have a choice every day. You can let it be consumed by overthinking and distractions, or you can channel into actions that bring real fulfillment. Remember, what you focus on grows. Choose wisely. 5. Discipline, the foundation of freedom. Discipline isn't about restriction. It's about creating the freedom to achieve your goals. Without discipline, dreams remain unfulfilled and potential goes untapped. The ability to stay focused, push through difficulties, and maintain consistency separates those who succeed from those who merely wish for success. Discipline is a key that unlocks personal growth, professional achievements, and a fulfilling life. Many people mistake discipline for a rigid set of rules that limits enjoyment. However, true discipline is not about deprivation. It is about making intentional choices that align with long-term aspirations. When you develop self-discipline, you gain control over your actions and decisions rather than being swayed by fleeting temptations or distractions. The more disciplined you become, the more freedom you experience, because you are no longer at the mercy of bad habits, procrastination, or external influences. Take Elon Musk, for example. He didn't build multiple revolutionary companies by luck or sheer talent alone. His success is a result of unwavering discipline. Musk is known for his rigorous work schedule, often working 80 to 100 hours a week. He prioritizes efficiency, maintains focus on long-term goals, and eliminates unnecessary distractions. This level of discipline has allowed him to innovate and push the boundaries of technology, space exploration, and sustainable energy. Discipline is also essential in overcoming obstacles. Life is filled with challenges that test your resolve. Without discipline, setbacks can easily lead to discouragement and failure. However, those who cultivate self-discipline develop resilience. They learn to push through adversity, stay committed to their goals, and adapt when necessary. Whether in fitness, business, or personal development, the ability to stay the course despite difficulties is what leads to true success. Another important aspect of discipline is time management. Successful individuals recognize the value of their time and use it wisely. They plan their days with intention, setting clear priorities and eliminating time-wasting activities. Social media, television, and other distractions can quickly consume valuable hours if left unchecked. By practicing discipline in how time is spent, individuals can maximize productivity and achieve greater results. Discipline is also crucial for building positive habits. Whether it's committing to daily exercise, reading, or waking up early, consistent habits shape the quality of life. At first, discipline may feel challenging, but over time, what once required effort becomes second nature. The key is to start small, developing a single discipline habit at a time, and gradually expand from there. Challenge. Strengthen your discipline. To implement discipline in your daily routine, start by choosing a habit that enhances self-control and focus. This could be committing to regular exercise, reading consistently, or establishing an early morning routine. Dedicate yourself to this habit for 30 days, tracking your progress along the way. If challenges arise, adjust your approach while staying committed. Observe how reinforcing discipline in small ways gradually empowers you to take greater control of your time, decisions, and overall life direction. Discipline is not a burden. It is a pathway to freedom. By mastering self-discipline, you gain the ability to shape your future, achieve your dreams, and live with purpose. The more you practice discipline, the more empowered and free you will become. 6. Stay calm under pressure. In the face of chaos, the strongest minds remain still. The ability to stay composed under pressure is not just a personality trait, but a skill that can be cultivated. History has shown that those who achieve greatness are not those who never face adversity, but those who respond to it with a clear and steady mind. The Stoic philosopher Seneca taught that our perception of difficulty shapes our experience. In other words, it is not the event itself that troubles us, but our interpretation of it. If we see stress as an insurmountable burden, it will feel overwhelming. If we see it as a challenge to be met with courage, we can face it with strength. Our ability to manage our emotions in difficult moments directly influences the outcome of our efforts. When we panic, we cloud our judgment, make rash decisions, and lose control. When we remain calm, we think clearly, act decisively, and increase our chances of success. Consider the story of Walt Disney. Before building his empire, he faced multiple failures. He was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. His first animation company went bankrupt. His early attempt at filmmaking were rejected time and time again. Most people would have given up, but Disney stayed composed and persistent. He understood that failure was part of the journey, not the end of it. His ability to remain calm and focused under pressure allowed him to push forward, ultimately creating one of the most successful entertainment companies in history. Similarly, athletes, military leaders, and business executives all recognize the importance of composure under pressure. When a basketball player stands at the free throw line with 1 second left in the game, their ability to stay calm determines whether they make or miss the shot. When a general makes a critical battlefield decision, panic can lead to disaster, while calm assessment can turn the tide of war. When a CEO faces a major crisis, their level-headedness can inspire confidence in their employees and investors, ensuring the survival of the company. So, how do we cultivate this ability? How do we train ourselves to remain calm when everything around us is chaotic? The answer lies in practice and preparation. Practical steps to stay calm under pressure. Control your breathing. When stress arises, take a deep breath. Controlled breathing slows down the body's stress response and brings clarity to the mind. A simple technique is the 4-7-8 method. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. Pause before reacting. In moments of stress, our first instinct is often to react impulsively. Instead, take a moment to pause. Give yourself a few seconds to collect your thoughts before responding. This brief moment of stillness can prevent you from making hasty, regrettable decisions. Ask yourself, how would a wise person respond? Wisdom is the ability to see beyond the immediate moment. When faced with a challenge, ask yourself how a wise and composed person would handle it. This mental shift can provide clarity and prevent emotional overreaction. Reframe the situation. Instead of seeing pressure as a threat, view it as an opportunity. Pressure means that something important is at stake. It is a chance to test your skills, grow, and prove your resilience. Train for adversity. Just as athletes train their bodies for competition, we must train our mind for pressure. Regular exposure to small challenges, whether through public speaking, difficult conversations, or controlled risk-taking, builds our capacity to handle stress effectively. Maintain perspective. No matter how intense a situation feels, remind yourself that it is temporary. Ask yourself, will this matter in a year? Often, the problems that feel overwhelming in the moment become insignificant over time. Keeping a long-term perspective helps you maintain composure. Adopt a problem-solving mindset. Instead of fixating on what is wrong, focus on what can be done. Shift your thinking from "this is terrible" to "what steps can I take to fix this?" Action-oriented thinking prevents paralysis and builds confidence. Practice self-care. A healthy body supports a strong mind. Regular exercise, sufficient sleep, and proper nutrition all contribute to emotional stability. When we are physically depleted, we are more prone to stress and anxiety. By incorporating these habits into daily life, we strengthen our ability to remain calm under pressure. The greatest leaders, innovators, and thinkers all possess this skill, and it is one that anyone can develop with dedication and practice. When stress arises, remember, breathe, pause. Ask yourself, how would a wise person respond? Stay calm and let your clarity lead the way. 7. Live by your own values. True power doesn't come from popularity or conformity. It comes from living in alignment with your own values, those unshakable beliefs that guide your decisions, shape your behavior, and ultimately define your legacy. In a world constantly pulling us in different directions, where trends shift by the day and opinions flood every corner of our lives, choosing to stay rooted in your own principles is an act of strength, clarity, and authenticity. Leonardo da Vinci is a timeless example of this kind of power. Though he lived during the Renaissance, his mindset was far ahead of his time. He didn't chase popularity or tailor his work to please others. Instead, he pursued what fascinated him. Whether it was a human body, flight, architecture, painting, or engineering, Da Vinci followed his curiosity with relentless spirit. He wasn't distracted by the fleeting desires of society or consumed by a thirst for fame. He valued knowledge, discovery, and the pursuit of truth, and he lived accordingly. What made Leonardo's life extraordinary wasn't just his talent, but his unwavering commitment to his inner compass. He didn't allow external pressures to dictate what he studied or created. This is why, even centuries later, his name carries a sense of genius and purpose. He lived a life that was meaningful to him, not one shaped by trends, expectations, or fear of judgment. Living by your own values today requires the same kind of courage. The noise around us can be deafening. Social media rewards conformity. Viral trends promote instant gratification. And many people live to please others instead of honoring themselves. But when you choose to step away from that noise and listen to your inner voice, you begin to live a life of real meaning. This doesn't mean isolating yourself from the world. It means moving through the world with intention. It means knowing what truly matters to you and using that knowledge to guide your choices. Are you driven by honesty? Then speak the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Do you value kindness? Then extend grace, even when it's hard. Is creativity one of your core beliefs? Then make time to create, even if nobody else understands why. Living by your values also brings clarity in tough moments. When faced with a difficult decision, it's tempting to choose the easy path, the one that gains approval or avoids conflict. But if that choice contradicts your values, it will only lead to regret. When you live from a place of integrity, even hard decisions become simpler. You know what feels right deep down, and you can move forward with peace, knowing that you stayed true to yourself. Reflection. What are the core values that guide your life? This isn't a rhetorical question. It's a call to pause and reflect. Take a moment to write them down. Your values are your foundation. Without them, life can feel like drifting in a storm with no anchor. But when you define them, truly define them, you give yourself a compass that can guide you through any storm. So what you stand for, what truly matters to you, not what should matter, but what does. Once you know, build your life around those truths. Make decisions that honor your values, even if it means going against the grain. That's how you create a life of purpose, impact, and authenticity. Remember, trends fade, fame disappears, and opinions change. But your values, if you live by them, will shape a legacy that lasts. Your power isn't in external validation, trends, or the approval of others. It's in your discipline, your mindset, and your ability to control yourself. The more you focus on mastering yourself, the more powerful you become. Which of these Stoic lessons resonated with you the most? Comment below. And if you enjoyed this, remember to like, share, and subscribe for more life-changing insights. Until next time, stay strong, stay stoic.